Hi, I'm John Pruzanski, and welcome to the Health Balance Project. The world of health advice today is a jungle. Every headline screams something different, every influencer has a miracle cure, and every week a new study seems to prove the opposite of the last. It's no wonder people feel confused, if not a little defeated. My goal here is simple: to cut through the noise, simplify the science, and make everyday health easier to understand and actually use. And hopefully, with these general principles, give you a better grounding to help you know who and what to better trust out there. I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist. I'm just a very dedicated and professional student, someone who's spent years reading the research, following the trends, testing ideas on myself, and learning how to separate the wheat from the chaff. Oh, and trust me, there's plenty of chaff out there. I'm a firm believer that there's a bottom line simplicity to everything, that it's all just common sense. When I grew up as an overweight child, my mother used to tell me I just had big bones. So I learned very early that health myths come in all shapes and sizes. What I share here are the overall basics, things that really do apply to almost everyone. Yes, it's true, we're all wired a little differently. Outside of identical twins, no two bodies are exactly the same. That's why I'll also help you learn how to measure and understand your own responses using the tools and tech that make personalized health easier than ever. So, join me as we explore how what you eat, how you move, how you recover, and how you live all shape your energy, your longevity, and the quality of your life. Let's make health smarter, simpler, and more balanced. Now, before we dive in, I want to show you why it's so confusing today. In the last 50 years, the science and understanding of health has evolved, and sometimes it's hard to keep up. Research and breakthroughs keep changing the way we see things faster than you can say low fat yogurt. Just look at how far we've bounced from fat is bad to eat more healthy fats. One minute the experts are telling us to cut out cholesterol, and the next, bring on the eggs. We've done more flip flopping than a short order cook at a pancake house, so it's no wonder it's hard to keep up. And here's the problem: this constant stream of conflicting information is just downright baffling and leading to a growing mistrust in science. We're bombarded with questionable data, doubtful influences, and complicated language designed to impress, not to genuinely inform, shouting for our attention, but really just shouting for clicks. Yeah, I've gone down the rabbit hole, following Dr. Peter Attia, Andrew Huberman, Jesse Onchauspar, Eric Berg, Professor Christopher Gardner, Thomas DeLauer, Andrew Steele, the whole Zoe team, amongst so many others. And yes, I'm very sorry to have put all those people into the same sentence, as they demonstrate so many differing levels of professionalism and studied expertise. But I followed them because they each bring something valuable, even when I disagree with much. But this is in fact my point. Either they're all quoting the same things, the same studies, the same buzzwords, and even the same five superfoods on repeat. Eat your blueberries, salmon, avocado, olive oil, broccoli, or more worrisomely, completely contradicting each other. And that's why I started the Health Balance Project, to help you understand the basics, demystify the science, and help you be more selective about what to trust out there. The initial focus will be on physical health, recognizing that improving your body will also significantly improve your mind. I won't bore you by repeating the popular lyric that the knee bone is connected to the thigh bone. Oops, sorry, I did. But you get the picture. So let's go from spelling to arithmetic, because you can't master the calculus of health if the basic arithmetic leaves you lost. And here's my starting point. Health is all about what goes in, what we eat, drink, and consume, number one. What goes out, what we burn, move, and excrete, number two. Oh, oops, sorry. And how our bodies fine tune it all, the metabolism. And all of that leads to the singular core concept of your weight. It's just not rocket science to say that the heavier we are represents how well or badly our marvelous evolutionary machines can keep us in good health and for longer. My own journey started as an overweight child. I loved good food, I loved junk, loved it all. I was fat. It wasn't until I lost over 35% of my body weight over 50 years ago that I sadly discovered I didn't have big bones. Sorry, Ma. And my preoccupation with weight and health truly began. I understood there and then that your weight was a simple equation of calories in versus calories out, no matter what the type or quality of the calories really were. But I did also recognize there were anomalies. My childhood friend David would eat the same large fast food meals, exercise the same, but he stayed a skinny beanpole and I just got fatter. It became clear this basic arithmetic was missing something. What I used to call the X factor, but today we'd call metabolism. Now, for years I thought metabolism was in your DNA, like the luck of the draw. But spoiler alert, we now know it's much more complex. Genes, diet, muscle, hormones, gut bugs, sleep, stress, all the usual suspects. Even the number on the scale doesn't tell the whole story. On the one hand, weight and mass can be made up of bone, organs, muscle, and fat. I mean, that's why I'm not a big fan of BMI. It just doesn't discriminate on the source or size of the weight. But when you stand in front of the mirror naked, it's really not hard to simply see what's firm and what's floppy. And we should also take great note in recognizing that not all calories are equal for our health, that the calories in a Big Mac are not the same as the calories in a large tuna salad. But that still doesn't change the overall basic arithmetic. So, why this preoccupation with weight? Well, outside of the obvious, as I entered my later years, I'd noticed something quite disturbing. The only active men in their mid 80s are almost always lean, strong, and few and far between. Those few overweight who are still with us often suffer from varying levels of infirmity. Now, the same issues apply for women, just perhaps a little further down the line. It was only then I internalized a wonderful concept from Dr. Peter Attia, the protein exercise guy. He maintains that we decide how long we live. We decide how firm or infirm we will be in our later years. Yeah, there are factors we're born with, as well as factors we build in our personal social dynamics, but much of it has to do with what we do with our bodies. He asserts we should view food as medicine, not just entertainment. And added to the what we put inside of the equation, he, like many others, is also adamant that if you don't maintain the strength to easily get out of the chair, get out of bed, or pull yourself up from the floor, you're going to be heading to the checkout early. This is the what we put out side of the equation. Even though I don't agree with him on everything, as is the case with so many of the others, I still love that basic concept. It reinforces my equation at its basics. Health is about what you put in combination with what you put out, plus the X factor. And that's the journey I want to take us on, to make sense of the noise, test the real science, and keep it practical. In further episodes of the Health Balance Project, we'll discuss the quality of what we put in. We'll break down what are carbs, proteins, and fats and why they're vital. Look at what we put out, what exercise works, what's hype, and what's nonsense. The relationship between body and mind, heart and soul. Understanding how we're all different and have changing priorities through various stages of our lives. And the modern tools, from wearables to AI, that can make your body work smarter and more balanced. Each episode will be short, direct, and I hope with a little fun. So come with me on this fantastic voyage, and yeah, that was a cinema pun. In a world obsessed with complicated formulas, let's start by mastering the basic arithmetic of health. Stay well.